For this chapter 7 problem, we're going to prove that these two triangles right here are similar, and we're also going to find out what x is. So we know that these two triangles are similar because they share this angle, and also their two bases that we can see here are parallel to each other. So that proves that they are similar. So the next step to figuring out what x is to set up a proportion. So it's going to be x minus 3 is to 12, and x plus x minus 3 is to 12 plus 16. So this first ratio represents this side of the triangle to this side, and this second ratio represents the larger triangle. So you add up these two segments here and these two segments here. So next thing you're going to do is simplify and cross multiply. So you're going to get 28 times x minus 3 is equal to 12 times 2x minus 3. So next you're going to distribute these two to their here. So you get 28x minus 84 is equal to 24x minus 36. Now your next step is to isolate the x onto one side. So you're going to subtract this 24x, and you're going to add 84 to both sides. When you do this, you get 4x is equal to 48. Divide both sides by 4, and you get x is equal to 12. So if you wanted to check this proportion, you could plug the 12 into the x's over here, and when you do that, the proportion of this triangle is equal to the proportion of this larger triangle. In Chapter 8, we'll be using SOHCAHTOA to find out what the value of x is. The problem states that Carlos plans to build a grain bin with a radius of 15 feet. The recommended slant of the roof is 25 degrees, as we can see here drawn. He wants the roof to hang over the edge of the bin by 1 foot. So the problem is asking what the length of x should be. So the easiest way to do this is to use cosine, because we already know what the adjacent is, which is 16 feet, if you include the radius of 15 and the overhang of 1 foot. So the way we set up this problem is to plug in 25 cosine 16 into our calculator, 25 being the degree of the slant and 16 being the adjacent of this right triangle right here. So when you plug this into your calculator, you're going to get an answer of 24.0315, which then you can round to 24.03 feet. You're going to learn how to find the area of a regular polygon, such as this one here. So the first thing that you can determine, because it's a regular polygon, is that the side length of one side is going to be equal to the radius. So we now know that this side, and this side of each of these 6 triangle here's all have the same side length of 18 yards in this case. So the next thing that you're going to want to write is that the area of a regular polygon is equal to half times the apothem, which is going to be this value here, times the perimeter. So the first thing that you do is you're going to multiply 18 by 6 sides to get the perimeter. So 18 times 6, you can plug into your calculator if you want, and you'll get 108. So we now have the first part of our equation. The harder part is finding the apothem. You can do this by using the Pythagorean theorem. So if you use this right triangle here, which you know that's a right triangle, you use half of this side length would be 9. So you can do 9 squared plus, this is going to be the apothem squared, is equal to 18 squared. So when you do that, you can subtract 18 squared minus 9 squared equal to a squared. So you can also plug this into your calculator to get 243. Square root these. The apothem is equal to 15.5884. Now you're going to want to keep that number in your calculator if you want to get an accurate answer. So the next thing you're going to do is plug these two values into your equation. So you get half times 108, which is the perimeter, times the apothem, which you can just bring down from your calculator so you get a more accurate answer. On your paper here, you can just round, is equal to, let's plug that in, you get 841.77. Now in this case, the problem asks for us to round to the nearest tenth, so we can put that the area is equal to 841.8 yards squared.